G'day guys. Well, as you know, you see me every week on the Off-Road Adventure Show. Well, my background is 12 volt, and that's why I've got Jamie's Touring Solutions. Now, I've been around doing this for a long time, but I just wanted to give you a bit of a understanding of power solutions and what everybody needs when they're out on the tracks or camping, traveling. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you've got a horse float or just go for a picnic. But I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown on just a few of my little power packs that we make in-house here at the shop. Now, this is one I started with many years ago, going back to nearly 20 years ago, and it's a 7 amp battery pack. Now, this is long before the rechargeable batteries, and all we used to do is we used to plug a fluoro light into there. So back when we used to run the old fluoro lights on this, you know, we'd get a few days out of it. But now with the LEDs, you just plug an LED in there and you'll get 3 to 4 hours a night for 5 to 6 nights. So that little 7 amp battery really holds it out there. But then we've evolved into the bigger and better stuff, and we've custom built a lot of different boxes. So I'm just going to run through a couple of them with you. So then we stepped it up from a 7 amp battery to a 40 amp battery. Now these are commonly used in the tinnies, and that's for running your EPIRBs, your GPS, your radio, your lights, all those little extras, plugging the phone into the USB, your voltmeter, your SIG socket, your Anderson plug, so it covered everything. And they're just a handy little box for doing that sort of stuff. And then you step up to the next size. And then we stepped it up to the Power Easy box. Now, we built a few different Power Easy boxes in the early days. Now I'm going back quite a few years, back to I think it was 15 years ago when we first made this size sort of box. Now this box is the most portable, handy box you can have, because you can put it in your 200 series, you can put it in your boat, you can put it in the wife's wagon to put the fridge in to keep it portable, you can put it in anything. And the whole idea of that is you've got a portable power solution that can go with you wherever you go, and you've got the battery in it to run the fridge, the lights, all those things that you want, whether it be a fan, a heater, you name it, it can do it. But I'm going to go into a bit more detail on it. So the Power Easy box, this standard one here, has 2 SIG sockets in it. It has an Anderson plug, which is an in or an out, and the same on this side, an in or out. So that's handy for that portable solar kit you might have with a regulator already on it. It'll just plug in there and start charging the battery. And then on this side, you might have a compressor to pump up the tyres on the car. You plug it into this side. And then we've got the SIG sockets, which of course will do your lighting, your fridge. And then we've got a USB. So the USB's for your phones and iPads and all that sort of stuff. And then we've got a momentary switch just there, and that's for your voltmeter. So you can always know where your voltage is, because of course you want to keep it above 50% all the time. And then of course we've got these extras here, and that's where you can add eyes on to add alligator clips to it with another Anderson, or just other sort of products that you might want to run on it. So that's what you get in the basic box. But this one is the upgraded version, which has got the DC to DC. Now we put a DC to DC in here, and that means that what it can do is charge off the car alternator as you drive. We use the red arc unit inside the box, and this is a 25 amp. So it'll charge at 25 amps an hour, or at a solar regulate at 25 amps an hour. And now we have an extra Anderson on each side. This one here, the red one, is for the solar, and this one here is for your car charge. So you've got these in and outs that I showed you before, but these two here are your 2 main sources to charge that battery that's sitting inside the box. Now what we also have in here is a 50 amp circuit breaker, which is your safety between your Andersons and basically everything in here. And then we individually fuse each of these SIG sockets. One of the great features about using the red arc unit is whether you can afford a lithium battery or you just stick to a calcium or a lead acid, but you want to go to an AGM or something like that, just to up the ante a bit, because I mean lithiums are quite expensive, but you can start down low and just modify a couple of little wires in here to suit your battery needs. Now in this case I've got a hardcore 100 amp that's going to go in this one. So this is set up as a lithium profile, and that's a real common one that we do. Now when we talk batteries, they come in all shapes and sizes. Now this little lithium pack is a really unique little pack that goes in the side of the X-Trail, the Suzuki hatch, or something like that. You know, it can go into those smaller cars, goes into smaller places, but it can still run the fridge, it can still charge off the car. So it's just a great little portable pack that can suit what you want to do for the weekend warriors. You know, when you want to get into more stronger robust stuff, well then that's when you go back to the Power Easy. But to get you out of trouble, these work a treat. And now we've stepped it up even bigger, better, more things, you name it, we can do it all here. But it's all to suit whatever your needs are. Now this is the Expedition Box. The Expedition Box Power Easy, what it's got in it is a 240 volt charger, a DC to DC charger, a 400 watt inverter, a 125 amp lithium battery, all fused, ready to roll, straight out the box like that with sockets in it, USB voltmeter. You've got at the back here your input for your car charge, input for your solar. You've got your Andersons either side. It's got everything self-contained in the unit, so it makes it all fully portable. So it's a lockdown, take it away, pop it into this car, that car, whatever it needs to be. Now the reason we went down this path is a long time ago I used to make an aluminium box, and we made it for the councils for doing the same sort of thing, so they could have everything compact in one little unit. So having a fully waterproof and dustproof with the seal and whatnot, you can strap it down in the back of the ute, leave it out in the weather, and you don't have to stress or worry about it. But the great thing is it is portable, so it can go anywhere you need it to be, whether it be at the campsite, and of course the weight is the biggest thing. This whole unit with everything in it weighs 25.5 kilos, when you think that your normal AGM weighs in at 34 kilos. So yeah, it's a big difference. So it makes it really easy and very portable. Well, that's our range of boxes. I hope there's something that will suit you. But if you want more information on it, go to our website, jts12volt.com.au, and drop us a line. If you've got any questions at all, or you may want something a bit different, custom built, well, we'll be happy to help.